Hello everyone, and thank you so much for tuning in to ChasingCinema.com's official YouTube channel. I'm your host, Jacob Tiranno, and it is CinemaCon week here in Las Vegas, and I'm doing presentation recaps throughout the entire week. We'll have uploads of interviews coming up later this week as well, so make sure to tune into all those videos by hitting that subscribe button so you don't miss anything that we produce. Now, I also did the Sony presentation from last night. Click that wide eye, a bunch of links will drop down. Click it, you'll be able to see my review or my recap of the Sony presentation, of the Disney presentation, as well as the Paramount presentation. Right now I'm going to be talking about the STX presentation. Now this was an interesting one, and I think last year as well, because the STX presentation opens up with the CinemaCon State of the Industry keynote. And that's kind of when they go over some statistics and talk about how, you know, money-wise movie theaters are doing, because again, CinemaCon is the official convention of NATO, National Association of Theater Owners. So this convention is essentially for theater owners more than moviegoers. So the STX presentation slash State of the Industry came out. We were talking about the $11.4 billion that was made in America last year in domestic box office in 2016. And then we reached about $38.6 billion globally. We went on this big thing about how analysts are kind of predicting that if we are on the same track, we will be able to reach $46.7 billion at the global box office by 2020. They kind of had this really interesting reel celebrating the highest grossing films of 2016. Disney broke some major records last year, and they had some of the most of the movies that made the most money last year came from Disney. So this really nice sizzle reel in 3D brought those films kind of to light. Captain America: Civil War, Finding Dory, Rogue One, all of these things a part of that. Following that, Byron Berkeley, the president of Foothills Entertainment, was awarded with the 2017 NATO Marquee Award. And then the president and CEO, John Fithian, took the stage for the State of the Industry address. So, you know, we started talking that from last year to this year, or from 2015 to 2016, there was a 2.3% increase in domestic and a 1% increase in global box office numbers. And this is the first March ever that we are very likely to reach $1 billion. We also learned that in the last 15 years, domestic box offices have seen a 40.2% increase. That's going to end that State of the Industry address. Let's hop into the STX presentation. Now, I thought one of the most interesting things when chairman of STX Films, Adam Fogelson, took the stage is that he really pointed out how STX Films is really compiled of less than 100 people, and they are able to really put out the amount of work that they've been doing. Free State of Jones, Edge of 17, they did Bad Moms. I mean, they've really created this really interesting process of delivering these, you know, so far, mostly good films at a very low cost. Eventually, STX would team up with Europe Corp, and 3 films will be working under that partnership. The first one will be released in April 28th to be exact. Sorry guys, I'm a little bit fried. Bear with me. April 28th, The Circle is going to be coming out, which Fogelson introduced as a firm-like thriller. And we were able to see a scene that was introduced by Emma Watson via video, and then followed by the trailer. And it definitely sparked my interest. A very Big Brother-esque type movie. You have Tom Hanks in it, though, that really kind of piqued my interest. He actually looks like a really intriguing character. And Emma Watson, kind of getting out of the mythical, well, again, this isn't obviously real life, but out of the world of Harry Potter and Beauty and the Beast, and kind of in a different role, and I think it sparked my interest. Next, we talked about Valerian and the City of a Thousand Planets. Luc Besson and actress Cara Delevingne took the stage, and they really kind of just talked about how Valerian is Luc Besson's chance of really doing a science fiction film right, because The Fifth Element had so many problems in production, and we were able to see the world premiere of a 3D trailer for Valerian, the City of a Thousand Planets. And I gotta tell you, the visuals in that trailer looked absolutely stunning. I mean, beautiful to look at. Unfortunately, though I know that Valerian has created some of the plot points that have become famous in cinema, they were all kind of inspired by the Valerian graphic novel and the Valerian story. I'm not familiar with the Valerian story. They did, however, give us an awesome backpack, a Valerian backpack, which I thought was pretty cool. But I do say the visuals look great and unbelievable in this trailer, but I'm not super sure what's going on story-wise, because there looks like there's a lot going on in that movie. And I guess during the making or during the writing of Valerian and the City of a Thousand Planets, Luc Besson also wrote a film called Renegade, which is set to release September 1st, and we were able to see the debut trailer for that, which looked like a solid action film. Didn't really jump out to me. However, the next film, which I honestly thought was the highlight of the STX Entertainment Presentation, and that was a film called Molly's Game, which is a movie written and directed by Aaron Sorkin. That's right. This is the film that Aaron Sorkin finally steps behind the camera to direct. It's the true story of Molly Bloom, who I didn't know who she was until I watched the trailer and learned about her today a little bit. Molly Bloom's going to be played by Jessica Chastain, Idris Elba, Michael Cera, Michael Keaton, also a part of the cast here. I'm sorry, Kevin Costner, not Michael Keaton. Kevin Costner. And this is a film about this woman who, it seems like, would start these poker games, and a lot of heavy hitters, a lot of celebrities, a lot of people in the movie industry, a lot of people in the sports industry would play in, and then her kind of role in all this and creating this really famous like underground poker game. And you know, Jessica Chastain came on stage, Aaron Sorkin was on stage, and they were just complimenting each other left and right. And I was so impressed with the trailer that I think this is definitely the highlight of the entire presentation. I think it looks very promising in the sense of a directorial debut from Sorkin. And as Jessica Chastain pointed out, there is no dialogue better than Aaron Sorkin's. Jessica Chastain also mentioned that she really was attracted to the film because it explores female power. And then we moved on to The Foreigner, which is an upcoming Jackie Chan film. And Jackie Chan has just been killing it over in the China market. He made 3 films last year, and I think every single one of them reached an insane amount of money. I want to say $1 billion. I think one was $1 billion, one was 1.5, one was in the 2.5 range, and just million, just killing it alone in the China market. And now they are working on making The Foreigner, which looked like a solid action revenge story starring both Jackie Chan and Pierce Brosnan. They also finally announced the release date for their film Ugly Dolls, which they actually talked about last year at CinemaCon. Ugly Dolls will be released on May 10th, 2019. They showed us the concept art. They transferred over to talk about the STX animated line that they have, and they showed us concept arts for an animated movie starring Eddie Murphy, and it was called the Eddie Murphy Project, where he takes the role of a bull. And then they showed us that they are making the animated version of Joseph in the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. And they have Elton John, Tim Rice, and Andrew Lloyd Webber all working on that musical animation. And to me, like, you have some of the best guys in the business working on this film. You definitely have some intrigue there. I mean, these are just, like I said, concept art, a little bit of storyboards, nothing really developed just yet, but that was what they teased for the upcoming animation line. And then Mark Wahlberg and Peter Berg took the stage to talk about a film called Mile 22. Berg had said that this is an adult action movie that they're making, but unlike what they've been making recently, it is fiction. And Mark Wahlberg added that he wanted this film to be a trilogy. Furthermore, he said Mile 22 is the film he wants to define him. He said when people ask about Mark Wahlberg, when people talk about Mark Wahlberg, I want them to think of the Mile 22 franchise. And I'm really looking forward to seeing how that turns out, if it'll end up being a trilogy, what they have in store, because I kind of not cared so much recently about the Peter Berg, Mark Wahlberg, based on true story movies. I think they kind of play on that a little bit too much, so I'd like to see them take in a more fictional direction, and I hope they're going to deliver that with Mile 22. Also, STX will be teaming up with Amazon Studios for an upcoming comedy project, and then we actually got a first look of the action thriller Den of Thieves. Den of Thieves looks like an intense thriller, but it reminded me of this movie called Mad Money. And if you hadn't seen Mad Money, I don't remember everyone who's in it, but I know it's Queen Latifah, and Diane Keaton, and someone else. And it's about these women. I don't know if they were working at this place, but they were the ones in charge of disposing money that, is declared unusable. And they start stealing it, and no one knows that this money's gone because it's supposed to be all disposed of. Well, Den of Thieves is about the same thing, only it's a lot more of a very serious Heat-esque heist movie, and it looks pretty interesting, though. And finally, to close out, STX announced that they will be opening a sequel to Bad Moms on November 3rd called A Bad Mom's Christmas. Mila Kunis took the stage and talked about this movie. Oddly enough, told us that they'll be filming this movie in Atlanta in the summer. So they're going to go to the hottest place in the world and film a Christmas movie. Oh, that movie magic. And that was kind of pretty much it for the STX presentation. They did a little clip for A Bad Mom's Christmas showing some Christmas movies that are really famous, and then kind of explaining like what it means to moms, and then just showing like this outrageous YouTube America's Funniest Home Videos collection of just like bloopers and crazy things happening on Christmas with kids crying and screaming, and just kind of emphasizing how a mom would feel in the height of the holidays. And oh, I took it out. They were nice enough to give us a Bad Mom's Christmas wrapping paper. So that was very awesome. That's going to wrap it up for my recap of the STX presentation. Molly's Game is definitely where my intention's at, though I'm not surprised that people are going to be talking about Valerian very much. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure to click that white eye. You can see my review, or my recap of the Sony presentation, Paramount presentation, and the Disney presentation. I'll also be continuing to update stuff throughout the week. There's 2 more days of CinemaCon left. Click that subscribe button down here, and you can even hit that bell so you get notified the moment I post. If you have any questions about the STX presentation or anything else at CinemaCon, let me know down here in the comment sections below. Also, make sure to follow me at Jacob Tiranno on Twitter and Instagram for updates that moment of live while I'm at CinemaCon. I live tweet when I'm at CinemaCon during the presentations. I'm taking photos of everything I can and posting it to my Instagram story, so make sure to follow me there. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Jacob Tiranno, and please continue chasing cinema.